The heat dome that scorched much of the central U.S. starts to shift east today, bringing lots of heat, days of it for the east part of the country. And then we're looking at some potential for flooding rainfall in the central U.S. So temperatures yesterday reaching triple digits, both Saturday and Sunday across parts of Nebraska, western Minnesota, a lot of widespread 90s, and with it some pretty high dew points in the 70s. So the heat index was in the triple digits for a large area. And that heat dome shifts a little bit east here, kind of parks itself for much of the week over the eastern third of the country. So much of the eastern half of the country is going to be scorching for a few days before that heat dome kind of spreads itself thin here and things settle down closer to normal. But lots of heat advisories and extreme heat warnings. That's what's orange and purple here for a huge chunk of the central and eastern parts of the country for a few days. So we had a couple days of it in the upper Midwest, but they're going to have probably 3 or 4 days of it for parts of the East Coast. Highs well into the 90s here all the way to the East Coast, up even into Maine for into Tuesday, probably Wednesday too, but you can see some relief here for the northern plains in the upper Midwest, and it's that frontal boundary that's going to be the focus for some weather here the next few days too. So hot and dry in the east, but we're going to start to get some stormy weather on the back end of that heat dome here as that cooler air tries to advance. The front moving across Minnesota right now in the central plains. You can see winds out of the northwest behind that, big drop in dew points, much more comfortable air. But this frontal boundary is going to be the focus for storm development today and tomorrow, and at least a marginal risk into Wednesday too. So slight risk all up and down the cool front today, level 2 out of 5. And then just mainly a hail threat for some storms further west towards Colorado, Wyoming. But then you can still see that kind of frontal boundary creating at least a marginal risk. But today, slight risk, level 2 out of 5 for southeastern Nebraska into much of Iowa, the southeastern corner of Minnesota, Wisconsin, into Michigan. The main threat is going to be some damaging wind gusts, maybe some large hail, not as severe as some of the storms we saw over the weekend on the backside of the heat in North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. So storms will fire up probably early to mid-afternoon, southeastern Minnesota, Iowa, and then really fill into a line of storms here as we head into the late evening hours and overnight right along that cool front. And this front is not going to advance a whole lot, though. It's going to kind of stall out here, and that's going to be the focus for more storms and potentially heavy rainfall Wednesday and Thursday. But wind gusts, again, that's the primary threat. You can see scattered severe wind gusts from Kansas, Nebraska into Iowa and Wisconsin later today into tonight. But as I mentioned, that front kind of sags south and then starts to move back north, and it's going to create waves of showers and thunderstorms here for the central and northern plains and the upper Midwest Wednesday into Thursday. We're talking about several inches of rainfall potentially. So excessive rainfall outlook from the Weather Prediction Center from New Mexico into portions of Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa, and same thing as we head into tomorrow and tomorrow night, starting to see even a higher risk of potential flooding concerns into New Mexico, but that same frontal boundary lifting north, and so much of southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, potential for excessive rainfall Wednesday into Wednesday night. And you can see kind of this huge area of heavy rain sort of working its way along the back edge of the heat dome from New Mexico into Minnesota. So anywhere from 1 to 4 inches of rainfall in this large area here from Iowa into southern Minnesota, Wisconsin. These are areas that have seen a lot of rainfall this month of June too, so more on the way. So heat shifts east, rain taking its place in the central U.S.